Hi, my name is Chris Reed, and I am a content creator and music producer from Compton, California. I have a YouTube channel where I teach music production using Reason Studios as your primary DAW. Today, I'm so excited to bring you guys a video on the BV-X Multimode Vocoder. Let's go ahead and take a listen, and then I'll break down some of the ways that I used it in order to create this sound. So let's take a look at the vocoder itself. The first section that you come across is the modulator section, and this is where you can input what is actually going into the BV-X as a modulator. If you flip around the rack, you can see right here what is actually going into the BV-X is the audio track for that lane. But of course, we can actually patch this cable to another instrument if we wanted that to be what it's modulating in. So as we're listening to the track, the vocoder is taking the music in and it's running it through this synth carrier, and it's creating that vocoder sound, that computerized vocal sound.
Lights, camera, action, it's a movie.
The modulator in is coming from the audio track that's here on this lane. So if the audio track is not there, then you won't hear any of the vocoder. So you do need to have some kind of modulator coming into the vocoder in order for it to work. But it doesn't have to be an audio file on your sequencer. It could actually be instruments, anything that you can patch in to the back of this modulator in section can actually be affected by the vocoder. The vocoder has an autoplay function which allows you to be able to get that vocoder sound without actually playing keys on your MIDI keyboard. However, I like to play the keys and have fun that way. So for this track, I actually turned that feature off, and instead I played in MIDI notes here as I was singing. So here are the MIDI notes, and you can hear how the MIDI notes affect the vocoder.
Lights, camera, action.
So like say for example on this portion where I say camera, I can actually change that to an A.
Camera, action.
So now it sounds a little different than what it sounded like before.
Lights, camera.
The pitch bend affects it as well. So I actually added in some pitch bends as well. So right here, this pitch bend right here, if we take this out,
Go ahead and grab somebody. Go ahead and grab somebody.
of course, we also could just mute this note lane altogether. We can create a new one, and then if we wanted, we could actually play along to that as well.
Lights, camera, action, it's a movie. Go ahead and grab somebody. No sitting at this party. Turn up all of the...
Wow, I really like the way that sounded. It really is just so much fun, like using it, like actually using it is super fun. It reminds me of like using the Neptune as well for pitch correction. I really just love this effect. It just really just transforms your voice altogether. But let's add back in that sound and we'll keep that going. So that kind of plays as like a background sound. I also have another sound in here that's actually acting as like an underneath melody that's being played with the vocoder as well. And again, these notes are what are affecting the vocoder. When it comes to using the vocoder on your vocals, it really can spice up a hook or a chorus part of your song. And that's what I use the vocoder to do in this track. So I actually have some background vocals that do not have vocoder on, and I'll let you hear what those sound like now. That's the main idea of the chorus that was created. However, when you add in that vocoder effect, it really just takes you back to like Roger and Zapp and Battle Cat, you know, how they would use the talk box and the vocoder to create these hip hop chorus and hooks that just sound, you know, out of this world. And it just takes your music to the next level.
Lights, camera, action, it's a movie. Go ahead and grab somebody. No sitting at this party.
So the next thing I want to show you guys are the harmonies that are being played. So if I play this, if I solo this, I'll show you guys these harmonies that are coming in only in certain portions of the course.
Action, movie, party, party, not all of.
So when you play chords, you can create these harmonies using your voice as well. So of course, it's only one vocal recording, but as you put them into the BV-X vocoder and you play those chords, this is the sound that you get. I also added in some automation on the +7 on the harmonic mix in order to just give a few more voices inside of that rendition of the performance.
Party, not all of.
In this portion of the song, we have automation happening. We have harmonies with chords happening. The combination of clean audio plus the vocoder affected audio really just helps to brighten up and thicken up the hook so that it has, you know, a little bit of flavor and a little bit of style.
Lights, camera, action, it's a movie. Go ahead and grab somebody. No sitting at this party. Turn up all up.
And I really wanted it to feel like and sound like it was like a lot of people around and like it was a party, like there's a lot of energy happening in this track. When we layer our vocals in this way, it just helps us to create those harmonies and the feeling of more people being around and present. And that just really just improves the quality of the hook as well. So the next portion of this track that I really like is the portion where I'm using my voice as the bass line.
Lights, camera, action, it's a movie. Go ahead and grab somebody. No sitting at this party. Turn up all the lights, camera, action.
So for this part of the track, I actually didn't use my MIDI keyboard and I actually used the autoplay to scale function. So as you talk, what the vocoder is doing is it's listening for pitch changes. And as it hears those pitch changes, it is changing the frequencies to create the synth carrier bass. And this probably sounds weird. But anyway, so this patch is actually called Sub That Vocal. And when you're using the autoplay to scale feature, it actually listens for the pitch changes and it applies those pitch changes automatically so that it sends your modulator in, which would be your microphone, into the synth carrier, and then that modulates through the vocoder and it gives you that sound. And we have some of my voice in there, but if we go to this output mix, we can actually turn down the modulator mix and we won't hear any of my voice anymore.
Lights, camera, action, it's a movie. Go ahead and grab somebody. No sitting at this party. Turn up all the lights, camera, action, it's a movie. Go ahead and grab somebody. No sitting at this party. Turn up all the.
So the last portion I want to show you guys is this improvised riff that I did at the end to just kind of give it that final performance piece. So here we have the portion of the end of the song where I'm doing like some more improvised riffs, and you can see the MIDI notes here that I drew in order to create this performance. For this patch, we're actually using the very vintage patch, and this is a patch that Reason Studios has created. As the MIDI notes come in, they're changing the modulation of the vocoder and it's producing that sound. The great thing about BV-X is that you don't have to be the greatest of singers. I'm not the greatest of singer. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I encourage you to check out the BV-X Multimode Vocoder. Use it in your music production, add it to your vocals or to your instruments. It really is a fun effect, and I'm sure that is gonna bring you so much inspiration in your music production. With that being said, I hope that you guys have a great day, and until the next time, peace.
Lights, camera, action.